Hello everyone, I'm Lynn, and today is a topic that is on the minds of a lot of people, and I've called this, why is Trump pushing the thing? We can't say certain things out there, but I think we all know what he's pushing that's really kind of contradictory to what we felt his message was a year or 2 years ago. So here's the question. It's a little lengthy, but definitely worth going into. It says, hi Lynn, there seems to be a big rift right now in Trump's followers, and it's due to him pushing the thing that must not be named. Many are surprised at his open support for this thing after pushing alternative treatments when he was in office. I've also been confused. I think a lot of us are. It says now there are people starting to have interviews about it. He just had an interview with Candace Owens where he stated it was without a doubt safe and effective. For so many, this is very unexpected. When he goes to talk with the people and he asks about it, he's very pro the thing, and when he gets booed over it, and when he hears the people boo him, he disregards them or makes comments that it's just a few people, basically diminishing what's really going on in this response. I'm seeing multiple interviews about this. The Candace Owens one can be found easily on MSM. Stu Peters has an interview about it on a couple platforms, I think. Look at the Brave browser and try typing in BitChute for help finding this show. Here's another link today on Rumble. So if you go to Rumble, if you look at my blog, I have a link that goes to Rumble with another interview of him openly talking about this. I know it's hard to think of Trump as anything but the guy who is going to help us drain the swamp, and I do think he did a lot of good in waking people up or helping them think outside the box and waking them up to new ideas, or the press not being honest and president just not acting the way that every president did before him, because he pushed back. He put tweets out there. He did things. He tried to buck the system. But with him now really pushing the thing, I'm very confused about who he is. I'd hate to think that he was just a part of the system or the PTW, but again, nothing would truly surprise me these days. And then they said, thanks for all you do. So, yes, I wanted to think about this. What is going on? Why is he pushing this thing, and why does it just feel so confusing and contradictory to the messages and how he acted not that long ago? So many people looked at him as a way to finally get relief and bring injustices to the light. But what people need to realize that he's one person. He's fighting against decades of an evil army against him. The agendas at play, they aren't in their infancy. They've been working slowly for a very long time. So for him to come in and try to eradicate it, I do get that he tried to do what he could, but he is one person and he's trying to undo many years. This web of deceit and lies and agendas and these plans, they've been in force for a really long time. I do get that T did wake people up. He did a good job making people question things. He was outspoken and he tried not to be controlled. He was cautious to avoid blackmail situations, and I get that's one of the reasons he does not drink alcohol, and he's mindful what people hand him in social situations, because that's what they do. They drug you, they get you drunk, they get you to do things that you might not normally do, say things you might not normally say, videotape you, record you, all this stuff, and create a blackmail situation. And I get that he did what he could to avoid that happening. He knows firsthand what these people were capable of because he ran into some of the same circles before he broke somewhat free. Go watch Eyes Wide Shut. Same scenario. You create these parties and these social things to try to get a blackmail situation on people and put people in scenarios they wouldn't normally find themselves in. As I think on T and I get clarity as to why he would start pushing this thing, I first hear he is human like everyone else. People have, to some degree, idolized him, but he has to play the game to some extent. He tried to expose things, but he hit roadblock after roadblock. Even with the 2020 counts, he tried to sue, but he stopped there too. So many times he would try to bring something to light, he would get people on his side. It would appear that he had some alliances and some people that had the gumption and the confidence and the wherewithal to go against these evil powers that were, but nonetheless, maybe their family got to, maybe they got threatened, something would overcome them, and then a narrative would change. It just happened to him time and time again. So he has to think outside the box. How is he going to play this game? What is he going to do? I see that he had to regroup, he had to try a new tactic, and be very mindful in the process. The powers that were would love nothing more to arrest or punish him for the setbacks he created, because he still did cause problems for him. They couldn't just easily go with their agenda the way that they wanted to. He did somewhat put a roadblock, but nonetheless, the agenda is still trucking along. It's just delayed in its effect. So when this bug was released and they worked with Big Pharma, I get he had to sign some kind of document that aligned with the immunity Big Pharma got in exchange for the release of the shot. He knew that Big Pharma needed to work on this for the people, whether it was intentionally released or not. I think we all know where this originated from. He still needed to go and protect the people. He wanted something out there that would. So he had to sign some documentation to allow Big Pharma to do their job. And maybe he wasn't fully aware of what was already playing in the background when he signed this, but nonetheless, he needed to get this released to the people, and he wanted to do it under his administration. He wanted credit. He wanted to get people and get help. He just didn't realize at that time, I get, what really was going on. So, knowing that the real truth is being blocked in conjunction with the documents and the deals that were worked, he cannot say that they are unsafe yet. That doesn't mean he can't say it forever, but as of right now, in this current moment, he cannot incriminate himself because he has signed this paperwork. He also knows he is a member, he or a member of his family is going to participate in the 2024 election. He's towing the line, being cautious because he, again, doesn't want to incriminate himself, and he's buying time until he can gain enough support and legal backing to really speak out. He's got to have alliances and people that are not going to be bullied, that the powers that were aren't going to be able to get to, or that have insulated themselves from this type of behavior and treatment. And he hasn't come across enough people that are in that position as of yet. He also knows that this is somewhat of a patience game, but at the same time, people need to come together and also fight for what they think is right. They can't all look to him and not do anything themselves. This is going to take an army and not just one man. It's almost like the whole world needs to rise together to defeat these monsters, and slowly we're getting there. We are slowly getting there. People have had enough, but it's more that people have to come together and have action for themselves, and not just look to him to change things. It is going to really take a group, not one man. And that was all I had for this reading. I want to thank you so much for listening. Please don't forget to like and share my videos. It helps me out. And if you'd like to support the blog, please come visit me over at Subscribe Star. For as little as $5 a month, you can go and you can get private videos that are not publicly released. And also, it's a great group of people that we share comments back and forth and so forth. So please go ahead and check me out. Again, I'll leave you with all this. Feel free to leave a comment. I'm Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com. Thank you. Bye.